Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. On the screen here, you see an image of some of the results that I've recently gotten from what is known as trading. And if you're not familiar with the image, over there is where you can see the actual numbers. So if you're someone out there that's looking to make money online, maybe looking for some side hustle ideas, or just a way to generate some extra income, then I hope you consider trading and the stock market. And not necessarily the stock market, but there's lots of other financial markets out there. But these results were coming from the actual stock market themselves. And first off, a disclosure here, the image you see on the screen, it is manipulated, and I manipulated it not from a numbers perspective, but just from a formatting perspective, just to make things easier to see. And also the idea and the context behind this image is I did another video because some people, maybe you just thought it, and it's okay if you did. You thought as soon as I said stock market, oh no, such and such says stock market's gambling, or I heard the stock market is gambling, or maybe you just flat out think the stock market is gambling. And I use this video to illustrate that no, it's really not. Yes, sure, it can be treated as gambling, it can be treated as a casino, but if it were actually gambling, then having 20 green winning days in a row is not going to happen. Or if you look at it like this, if you were to go into a casino, sit down at the slot machine for 20 straight days, you're not going to be walking out of the casino winning every single day. If that were, possible, if that happened, casinos would be out of business in the blink of an eye because slot machines, there is no edge. You cannot put anything in your favor. It's pure randomness. But the stock market and trading is not. So that is why I put this image together. In fact, I'll put a link down below if you're curious about the video I'm talking about that goes deeper down this. But what I wanted to focus on here was more so just, hey, yeah, the stock market, you can make money online. It is a great way to put some extra cash in your pocket. And in this situation, made over $12,000 in 20 days. And what I really want to focus on in the idea also is that there's no theory here. This is real life results. This actually happened. So this is not me like pulling out a book or a textbook and saying, well, you know what? In theory, this has happened. This should. No, it is totally possible. And that's why I want to use real life results. And then a little bit more context here. There's two groups of people that I realize are watching this. The first is you're brand new. Maybe you don't even know what the stock market is. I say the word day trade and you're like, wait, what? But that's okay. I get it. You're looking for ways to make money online. That's awesome. Welcome to the world of the financial markets. Be careful though. This stuff can be very, very addicting. The key dynamic here though is that you're a hustler, right? You're ready to work hard. You're ready to grind. You're ready to do what needs to be done. So as long as you're a hustler, great. As long as you're somebody that's willing to go out there, put on the hard hat and do the work, fantastic. Or maybe you have experience. Now, how much experience? That could be all over the place. But the point is, you know what day trading is. You know what the stock market is. But you're just looking to, I got to keep on getting better. I got to keep on, finding new opportunities. I got to keep on finding new ways to approach the market. So you're one of those two people, and this video is going to be intended for you. Now, some people, you're just going to be introduced to the market and how you can actually trade stocks online to make money. And then other people, hopefully this, let me just go to the next part. This will build off of last week's video, and I'd encourage you to watch that. This is almost a little miniature two-part series, if you will. Now, do you have to watch this video? No, I won't go that far. But in that video, I was talking all about the topic of being wrong, and more specifically, be versus stay. So to summarize that video, what I talked about was that there's one fact out there within not necessarily just the stock market, but any financial market out there, is that the perfect trader investor does not exist. You just can't be perfect. In the history of the world, there has never been the perfect trader, the perfect investor. Warren Buffett has lost money. Jeff Bezos has lost money along the way. Bill Gates has lost money. Everybody makes mistakes. Sure, maybe not necessarily in regards to trading, but there's no such thing as a perfect human being. So the perfect trader investor does not exist. So therefore, because of that fact, it is expected normal that you will be wrong as a trader. So that's why I say to you, those of you that are brand new, hey, just realize right up front that you're going to be wrong every now and then. You can't be right all the time when it comes to the world of trading. And for those of you that are already involved, it's okay. It's normal. It's okay for you to be wrong. Just because you are wrong as a trader does not mean you are a bad trader. It means, well, you're human and you're not always going to be right. However, you will not survive if you choose to stay wrong. Again, I'm talking to both groups of people, new or with experience. You're not going to survive. Maybe you've already, for those of you with some experience, maybe you already have suffered by staying wrong. And you're like, oh yeah, My account definitely took a big hit. I could have had a much smaller loss, aka be wrong, but I chose to stay wrong, and my loss got that much bigger. So that's the overall idea here, be versus stay. But I do fully realize right now, full admission on my part, I'm just talking in theory. Sure, I showed some real life results up front, but right now, okay, be versus stay, this is all theory. And even last week, to be fair, that was kind of in theory too. So that's why I want to do this follow-up video so that we can actually show some real life results of how this works in the real world and how be versus stay really, really does make a big difference. So the first thing I want to focus on is that day right there where I ended up making $121.69 again if you look at the far right column. But let's take a look at that day closer up. So here is that day in detail, and the main thing to look at is right there, I was actually wrong. And being wrong, that cost me $711. But here's the key thing, and I love this quote: the more the knowledge, lesser the ego. Lesser the knowledge, more the ego. So let's get ourselves some knowledge, because the more knowledge you get, then the less ego you're going to have. And ego is one of those human emotions that causes you to stay wrong. Why? Well, because you don't want to admit that you're wrong. You're like, no, I'm right. I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. I have no problem admitting that. I like a good argument. I don't like to admit that I'm wrong. I grew up playing sports. I don't want to lose. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I want to win. And in trading, that can really backfire on you because your ego, and I don't mean ego in the way of, hey, I'm the greatest thing ever. Ego in the sense of all of us as humans at the core, we want to feel good about ourselves. And that's what the ego's job is to help us to feel good about ourselves. So because we want to feel good about ourselves, our ego is going to get in the way and say, no, don't admit you're wrong. Don't admit you're wrong, and you're going to stay wrong. But that's the idea here. Let me show you how this works. Let me give you more knowledge so that you can say, oh, wow, yeah. If I just be wrong instead of stay wrong, it does make a difference. And then over here, another great quote: the ego is the single biggest obstruction to the achievement of anything. And that is 100%. I don't think he was talking about, trading online or anything like that, or being a day trader. But it 100% pertains to the world of day trading and just trading in general. Because yes, if you don't get the ego out of the way, it will be the single biggest obstruction, and you will not achieve anything. And of course, what we're trying to do here is to make money online. So you're not going to be making any money online or on your phone or however you're doing it. It's just not going to happen if your ego gets in the way. So here is what is so powerful about this. So here was the actual stock where I lost money, and I decided to be wrong right there at $97.50. So yeah, it was painful. As you saw, it cost me a little over $700. But what happened afterwards? And you can't make this stuff up. This literally happened. So there is no theory here. And I chuckle because this is one of those losses. A little spoiler here. It felt great now that I have hindsight in my favor. But after I took that loss, that is what happened. Over the next several days, this thing went up as high as $116.50. And honestly, it might even be higher right now. I put this presentation together a few days before recording it, so it might have went up even higher. But regardless, this does enough to serve the purpose that be wrong, just get out at $97.50, or had I decided to stay wrong, that I could potentially have. Now the price actually went up over $117, but I'm just trying to keep it conservative. But $116. Now to put some numbers to this, be wrong, you already saw that, lost me $711. Verse, and because I had 1,000 shares. And the way the math works, I was looking at a potential loss, if I decided to stay wrong, of $19,000. I'll say that again. By staying wrong, a potential loss of $19,000. Well, Clay, you're just taking the worst case scenario. Fine. Let's call it $10,000 then. Okay, losing $700 versus losing $10,000. Yeah, you know what? That's what I mean by I was quite pleased that I decided to be wrong where I did. Still super annoying. I'm not saying that it was pleasant at the time, but with hindsight, yes, it's definitely become much more pleasant. But be wrong versus stay wrong. No theory here at all. This happened, and had I letting the ego get in the way, no, I don't want it. No, I'm not wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I mean, like I said, even if you don't want to take the $19,000, let's call it $10,000. I mean, the math speaks for itself. And then to map out the next couple that we'll look at here, December 31st and then January 16th. So right here on December 31st, once again, I was wrong. I decided to just be wrong. Took the loss, 139.25. Over here on January 16th, again, I was wrong. Just decided to take the loss, needed to take the loss. There on Tesla, a loss of $553. So just be wrong. Once again, I'm not saying it's pleasant. I'm not saying you should look forward to it, but you still need to be able to do it. You still need to be able to shove the ego away, swallow the pride, and just be wrong. And then overall, and here's the key part of trading. So again, if you are new to the markets, if you're just getting started, maybe you, like I said, you've literally never even heard of the markets until this video, or maybe you've had plenty of experience. Hopefully you consider adopting this kind of mentality that by being wrong, you can still win. So those were the 3 dates where I showed that I was wrong. There might have been more, but I didn't go through every single day just because I think 3 does enough to illustrate the point here. But those 3 days is where I was wrong. But guess what? I still won. I still had those green days. Now, they weren't nearly as big as other ones, but they were still winning days. I still walked away with more cash in my pocket. So by being wrong, you can still win, and that's what the market's all about. That is pure power, and that is exactly why the market is not gambling, because you can be wrong about something, but when you know how to manage things, when you know how to position yourself in a way that's going to keep not guaranteed to make money, but just overall structuring your trade plan, structuring your strategy in a way that's going to manage your money, manage your risk in a way that allows you to be wrong, but you can still win. That's what it's all about. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Also, leave a comment down below. Do you have any horror stories of times where you decided to stay wrong instead of be wrong? I mean, you're not alone. I've been there many times before, but everybody always likes a good horror story, and honestly, I think that's where people learn the most from, is from the horror stories. So leave comments below, or maybe you just have a question. If you're brand new and you're thinking, all right, Clay, how do I even get started? Or, I mean, brand new people, feel free to leave those questions down below. I do reply to comments. I do read comments, and all you got to do is go back to any video that I have and look in the comment section. You'll see I do reply. So questions or anything like that, leave those down below. But if you enjoyed these videos and want for me to keep on making them, then again, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and hopefully you decide to ultimately subscribe to the channel. If you are interested in learning more about trading alongside me, I do offer a private trading community, so you can go to claytrader.com/team. But if nothing else and you just enjoyed the video and would like for me to keep making these, hit that like button. Thanks for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only 1 losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.